Hello everyone, it's TLB Author Interview Series, and today is 28th episode, and we have a very special guest with us, author Urja Wagh, with her debut book Bound to You Against My Will. And let me tell you, it's one of my favorite books and one of my favorite couple. So, Urja, it's really an honor to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Guys, you all can comment down your questions if you have any. And we'll start. So, our very first question is, what was your inspiration behind Bound to You Against My Will? Are there any personal experiences or real life inspirations that influenced the storyline?
Yeah, so basically, I'm a hopeless romantic and I love romance genre. I read it since forever now. And I always had a story in my mind, and I love high school romances and all those things. And also, I've grown up with people around me where I have witnessed so much love. So, yeah, just inspired from a lot of people around me and my friends, my family, and also a lot of fiction because that's where it is. I love fiction. So yeah, the story was actually in my mind, and just I took some references from the people I know, the stories I witnessed, and then that is how it came to life.
Okay, that's good. So, it's all in your head.
Yeah, basically,
Always
like
in there.
80% of it, yes.
Okay, that's good. So, the book delves into the past heartbreak and emotional healing too. So, how did you balance the angst with romance? Like, that's a lot of angst and romance in the book.
Yeah.
So, how did you get the balance?
Yeah, so actually, I'm a person who really likes to feel the emotions while, reading those books. It is very important to me. Unless and until I'm not completely there and I am imagining me as the FMC, I can't relate to the
Yes, yes.
character. So for me, the entire, all, any kind of emotions were extremely important. And when I felt ki, yes, this is where the readers are going to feel what is happening to the characters, I just thought ki I have achieved it. I also don't know how actually I wrote it in a way because it was all a new experience for me. But I just wanted to convey all the emotions the characters were experiencing. And also, I wanted all the readers to live through those characters and experience the story for themselves as well.
That is good because as a debut novel, this was really commendable. Like I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
So in the later part of the book, where Savi is portrayed as emotionally guarded person, but she is also deeply passionate.
Yeah.
So what was the most challenging part of writing her character?
Actually, if I'll be totally honest, Savi is extremely similar to the person I am in real life. It is just that she's too much sweet. I am not, maybe. She's the sweetheart through and through. But I loved writing Savi was actually kind of easier because every female at some point can relate to Savi because
Yeah.
if anyone has ever been in love, they know how it feels like. Because usually, especially the Bookstagram girlies, when we read any book, we are people who are going to love with all we have and then get
Yeah.
heartbroken. And the heart, and then coming out of that heartbreak and building yourself back again, only to get stuck to where it all started, is something I think
Yes.
each one of us has experienced in life somewhere, somehow in any kind of relationship. So I just feel like writing Sabi was somewhere writing about all those people I always see, all those girls I always see who struggle every day, who wants to love but is scared to love because they have gotten hurt, but still they can't stop loving. And when it comes to the professional part of Savi, I felt like she was from the start. It was already clear that she wanted to do something different and she was very passionate about her work. And I wanted to build that as well and not just show her as a love struck girl who is, just in love and can't do anything else in life. So I think when there's a proper balance, that is what make people relate to her so much, is because even though she's heartbroken, even though she loves a lot, she's still guarded. She's a scared girl who doesn't know what to do when it comes to love.
Yeah. Because I really loved her character, but the part where everything comes to the starting point, like same the betrayal happens again, and I was like, I really, I was, how can the boy do that, Ryan? I was like, you can't do that again. It's all over. It's like
It's
a
a cycle,
circle. It started
right,
again.
right.
Yeah. So that was heartbreaking, but
That was extremely heartbreaking for me to write as well because I also loved Savi and I loved Ryan equally. I cannot choose between both of them. But as Ryan is already shown as a morally grey character, we have to somewhere, we have to understand that he doesn't feel the way Savi feels, the emotions. The way Savi can express and process her emotions, Ryan lacks somewhere there, which has been shown throughout. So he loves in his own kind of way, which is which is difficult to understand. But that is where Savi beautifully comes in the picture and try to understand him to a level. But then again, there are times where the point where she leaves him is
yeah,
completely valid when it comes to Savi's point of view, is because that is where there is a line that has to be drawn. And I think that is what I wanted to show, that even though she is a person who loves with everything she has, she also has some boundaries which he
yeah.
crossed and then she had to leave.
The heartbreaking point was really like I cried my eyes out, but it was still like I was hooked to the book.
Yeah.
I was so invested in the emotionally. I was very invested in it. That did a good thing. Yeah. So the male protagonist seemed to be a man of mystery and control. So what makes him stand out from typical romance heroes?
As I said, a lot of I am a person who loves romance and dark romance, and I have read a lot of books. And I feel somewhere, even though Ryan was always lacking in something, his love was never lacking.
Yeah.
He lacked in showing actions. He didn't knew how to express, but that didn't mean he
Yes.
didn't love her. Throughout the book, we cannot question his love for her. We can question his actions, but not his love. And that is where I think he stands out. And in the book, he has never intentionally tried to hurt her. It is just the way he processes emotions, where it always happens unintentionally, and then he doesn't know what to do because he didn't think that, oh, this is going to happen, but then it happened. And after a point, he's a lost soul who doesn't know how to express himself and is stuck somewhere in that loop, and he also doesn't know how to get out of it. So yeah, I feel like that is what makes Ryan stand out. And even after the leap of all those years, I felt the devotion he had for her again was something we cannot question, because he was completely devoted, and that is where I think he just steals the spotlight, and we can't actually hate him.
Exactly. Like his love was never something we can question. He always loved her. He loved her too much.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know how to. Ryan is a character where he loves this much and expresses this much. So it's
This
like
much,
he
yeah.
doesn't know how to get it out. And that is where I think their contrast also shows. And that is what I wanted to show, because in my life also, the people I see around me, I feel only the opposite people who are completely poles apart have the greatest love stories, just according to me. And I love how completely two different people can make it work with each other and try to be there for each other, even with all the odds against. So yeah.
Yeah. So, what was the biggest challenge you faced while writing this book? Did you experience any writer's block while writing,
Yes.
or if so, how did you do it?
Yes. So basically, when I started writing the book, a lot of the plots were different in my mind when I started. But as you go writing it on, there are a lot of new twists. You think that, oh, this can be written in this way as well. And the plot twist of the book, since you have read, I don't want to reveal much, but the plot twist was not supposed to happen the way it was planned. But my friends were a lot of help in this. They all used to sit with me, brainstorm so much with me, and one of my friends came up with this idea. And anyways, Ryan is a morally gray character, so I think this is how it should be portrayed. And I think that is where my writer's block also occurred, because I wrote some chapters, then I went back, and then I rewrote again. So there are a lot of times it happens, and also the book is pretty long. That is also one of the
Yeah.
challenges I experienced. Somewhere I feel a lot of people's opinion was also the same key, it could have been short or something, but as also it was my debut novel, and also somewhere I felt like a lot of things just made sense in the book, so I didn't wanted to remove a lot of things. So I just felt all of the things added up to the why people are so emotionally invested is because they have lived through the characters, and I thought that journey was important for the length of the book. So yeah, that was.
The length was worth it, I guess.
Yeah.
It was worth it. So, what kind of research did you have to do to develop the story and the
Uh,
characters?
So first of all, when I jumped into the whole writing part, actually, writing big words are pretty easy than actually sometimes writing smallest of the words. There are times
Yeah.
where we are writing and you just can't even remember the synonym of a very simple word, and then you have to go and Google, like, oh, what is the synonym? So that is somewhere that was new to me, because I am my English is really good, and I felt like I could. So that was a challenge when it came to the writing part. And when it came to the research, I just brainstormed a lot, not research. I just, since the book is based in a high society kind of vibe. So I just had to go and watch a lot of Netflix series to understand the whole vibe going on, because a lot of
Yeah.
people came to me and said that there some things were unrealistic and all, and I was like, yeah, but again, if you go on thinking, if you are a billionaire and you have that kind of money, I don't mind giving my boyfriend a BMW M5 if I have that kind of money. So I feel, it depends from perspective to perspective again. So yeah, but
Yeah.
that was the challenging part, and just the writing part when it came to also when it came to steamy scenes, or just scenes which were emotionally charged. That is where I felt like I had to go in depth. I had to take a lot of time to just go through scenes continuously and rewrite, and until and unless it was not perfect according to me, I rewrote a lot of scenes.
Yeah. And it was your debut novel, so everything is like fine.
Right.
It happens.
Yeah.
So, how long did it take for you to complete the book?
Uh,
Do you follow any strict writing routine, or you wrote whenever the inspiration
yeah,
strikes?
no, actually, I don't follow any kind of routine. Actually, anyways, it was a debut novels. When I started writing it, there was no idea of publishing it or it being out in the world. I just started it, thinking that okay, let's put down my ideas on a paper and we'll see what happens. But then it kind of developed, and everybody around me, my family, my friends, everybody were like, I think this should be out there, and this deserves to have its own thing. So I don't follow any routine. When the story started developing in my mind, that is when I go and just write it down. And I think it approximately took me like 3 to 4 months to just complete the writing part of it, and then later the whole publishing process and all of those things.
Okay, that's good. So, do you believe, as not as a writer, but as Urja, as yourself, do you believe that fate bringing two people together is somewhere true?
Sorry, what bringing?
Fate, fate
Okay.
bringing two people together.
I am not sure. I'm a kind of person who believes that if two people are in love, or if they are meant to be, I think it needs a lot of hard work and not just wait. Maybe it plays a little part, but if two people really want to be together, I think efforts and hard work and just the pure will of wanting to be with each other matters more than anything else. And yeah,
Yeah.
there is fate, destiny, fate, all these things plays a part in it. But at the end of the day, I think it is depending upon those two people. If they want to be together, then they have to put in the efforts and the work and the hard work to make it work, or else then it is going to fall apart.
Okay. So, have you read other books similar to these tropes? Because your book it feels like really, it is well crafted.
Yeah,
So did
actually,
you
yes, as
want?
I said, I have been a reader since forever and I love reading everything, but especially romance. And I am a huge fan of Twisted series. I love Twisted series and I love Rina Kent as well, all the books Rina Kent. A lot of people have different opinions, but I am a romance person and I like dark romance to a point and I love these books. So I love all these books. I like Elsie Silver and a lot of authors. Yeah, so actually, I don't have a favorite author. It depends from series to series. So I just the Anna Wong is my I like Twisted series. I'm not a fan
Yeah,
of the King of Things. I think that series which is going on right now.
yeah.
Not a big fan of that. But Twisted series I love. The first book boyfriend I have ever had is Alex Volkov. Just I would die for that man. So
He's
when
a
I know Ryan Singh
such a
Dhania, the standard was here. So I was like, I if not at that level, but somewhere near, I needed Ryan Singh Dhania to be there. So yeah,
yeah.
that was what my inspiration was.
Okay, but your book is truly amazing. Like I really enjoyed it. So while writing Ryan's character, his part of betrayal completely broke my heart and audience's heart. So, do you think this particular part of the book played a crucial role in hooking the audience and keeping them emotionally invested into the
Yes,
story?
because the whole betrayal part was important to the story.
Yeah,
As I said, the book dedication of the book says it all. Love is never black and white; it's gray. That is
yeah,
what it is all about. Because a lot of people in our mind, actually, the dedication also came into view as me and my best friend was just brainstorming about it, and I had the first part. Love is never black and white, and both of us went at the same time. She said it's colorful, and I said it's gray. And then she went like, "Why would it be gray?" Because she just couldn't understand. And I was like, "That is what happens." No, like since we are kids, all of us has grown up thinking love is always colorful. It's like a pretty thing. It is all happiness and all of this. But no, it's not. It's raw. It's unfiltered. It's messy. If anybody has ever been in love, they know how love is. It's heartbreak. It's a lot of tears. It's a lot of happy tears, sad tears, a lot of things which comes in love. And I felt like Savi and Ryan's story needed that part is because they have grown up together. They grew as individuals as well, you know. And at some point in life, they had to choose. Ryan was under a lot of pressures from his father and all those things. And there was a constant need to prove himself. And when all of those happened, all of those things happened, he was actually not a very, he was like a 19 or 20-year-old kid. No matter how
yeah,
much they were told that they are all grown up and he had to take it over at 20. I am 21 right now, so I can't imagine taking over a company. And he was under a lot of pressure and he didn't know how to react and he, messed it all up in that moment. But I feel like that is what there are so many things in real life. People actually, a lot of people went extremely mad about the whole him betraying, and they're like, I don't like the MMC. What is this? And all of those things, which is completely valid. But again, for me, love is not a fairy tale. It is not a fairy tale. In real life, no matter what, we always give chances to those people. No matter how much we believe that it is not right, even though we know it is not the right thing to do, we are going to give them a chance, hoping, knowing they are going to do the right thing or they're not going to repeat it again and they will change. So I just wanted to keep it real. Yes, no matter what, even though he betrayed, yes, Savi was mad at him. She didn't stop loving him. You know, so when he
yeah,
comes back in like he comes back and again just like pushes her or pulls her back into his world. She never stopped loving him no matter what. They grew up
yeah.
together and he's the only person she has ever loved. So the whole betrayal part was always there, but again he was a kid at that point, and I think all of us would have made that excuse for him because we do in
Yeah.
real life, no matter what anybody says, no matter what people go and say, no, this is not okay, and all of us has done those things, been there, done that. And if then later, if something like that would happen, then him being completely wrong, but then he kept proving how he genuinely deserved her. So I think that is where the beauty lies.
Yeah. We have to keep his age in mind.
Right.
Yeah, he was not that like mature by age.
Exactly.
So it's under.
That is what I felt. It was not like he's a 30-year-old man and then he did that thing. No, he was not. He was
Yeah.
like a 20-year-old who didn't know what to do in life, had a lot of pressure. So yeah, it happens.
I felt like really beating the shit out of him, but
Yeah, which was complete. I took
yeah,
a long ass break after I wrote that because I was like, oh my god, but what happened? Even if when I write it, actually, my best friend, my manager, my roomie, whatever you want to call her,
yeah,
she was my beta reader. She was always here, so she has to read it. She read it and she took a 1 month break because she couldn't come out of it. And she was like, I don't want to read hereafter. I hate Ryan. And nothing he can do is going to make it better and want me love him again. And then at the end of the book, all she said was, if he's not Ryan, I don't want him. So I was like, yeah. That is how we can just sum up
yeah,
our feelings for Ryan. It's a love and hate relationship when it comes to him.
yeah. I really loved him, but I hated him in that part.
Right.
Yeah. So, what's the one thing about the protagonist that the readers might not pick up on immediately, but it's crucial for understanding them?
Yes. So I think when it comes to the female protagonist, I just feel somewhere uh, Savi was, always a lover girl from the heart, but
Yeah.
over the years she had to build herself in that shell. And when actually in the part 2 Ryan is trying a lot of things, and there are points where Savi actually doesn't give in, and there are so many parts where Savi is extremely guarded. I feel there's an I think there's a network issue. Huh? Am I audible? Yeah. I feel people have to understand that they grew a lot over the time, and they're not going to
Yeah.
be the same people they were at 15 and 16. It was like a 10-year thing, the whole thing. When they again met, they were like 26 years old, and they're not going to be the same people. So when in part 2, people expect them to, oh, they were so different in part 1. And yeah, bro, there's like a lot
Yeah.
of gap, a lot of age gap. I am not the
Exactly.
same person I was last year. So how can you expect them to be the same people when after all these years, especially after they have grown so much in life with experiences in so many other things. So I think in both of their cases, people should just understand that there's like a lot of age gap and lot of gaps. In part 1 also, a lot of gaps happen and they grow with time. So they're not going to be the same people the way they were at the start of the book.
Yeah. So we have to understand that they are growing.
Yeah.
Their relationship, they have.
We have to grow with them because if we just keep imagining oh, this is what they were in the first few chapters and now they're completely different people. Yeah, because they were like 15 years old in first few chapters, now they're 18 years old. So that happens.
Okay. So, what's the most surprising piece of feedback you have received from your readers so far?
Actually, a lot of debate about side characters, which I was, because all my close team, we kind of
Yeah.
guessed who everybody's favorite side character would be, and there were a lot of surprises when it came to that, and I was really happy to know a lot of different perspectives of people. And also, a lot of people had this feedbacks saying by 95% were all positive ones, and I was so glad that people understood what I wanted to portray. And then a few were there, but again, it differs from opinion to opinion. Everybody's POV. But side characters were a very surprise element for me when it came to readers, because we thought we were extremely sure that we figured it out who people's favorite side character will be. But then a lot of different opinions came into view, and it gave me actually a very good perspective while writing the other books as well now. So yeah, that was like a favorite part of me knowing my readers. And I always, whenever I get feedback, my question is, "Oh, who was your favorite side character?" Because now I have to write the series aage, and I need to know, what people think about all the side characters. Yeah.
I personally love Sid.
Yeah, actually,
don't know.
that was a very surprise element for us, because we were expecting when we discussed among ourselves, a lot of people came up with Ayan, and we all agreed because Ayan is a great character. But then Siddharth came into view. Readers love Siddharth, And we were
Yeah.
like, okay.
You know that second male lead kind of vibes.
Huh.
He,
A
I
lot
feel
of
like
people
he
for
gets
some
me a
reason
rival.
thought ki there could have been a love triangle kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, but no, a lot of people actually texted me saying that Siddharth had feelings for Sabi. And I was like, oh, did you think so? And yeah, so that was kind of new to me because that is not what I had in mind when I wrote it. But nice to know that people have so many different perspectives regarding it. And actually, people gave me a different point of view for Siddharth because I loved his character. I also
Yeah.
side characters are extremely close to my heart because all of them are somehow inspired from my closest friends, and
Yeah.
so they are all close to my heart. But the where people loved Siddharth was a surprise element for me. So it's like okay. And from the female ones, who is your favorite?
Isha. I love. Yeah. But for me, Sid was always, I always wanted him to have feelings for Savi. Call me whatever, but I wanted him to have feelings for her. But at the same time, I also don't want his heart to be broken.
Right,
So
right.
it
Yes.
was like very confusing
Yeah.
thing. So if this book were to be adopted into a movie or a series, do you have any dream casting in mind?
I'm not really sure, but yeah, I would as I would choose from Bollywood because it's a Desi romance. So I would love to choose from Bollywood.
Obviously.
For Ryan Singhania, I think I would love Aditya Roy Kapoor or Vicky Kaushal. Both of them have great personalities, and since actually Aditya Roy Kapoor because he has done similar roles kind of thing, and Vicky Kaushal because I think he would have a lot to offer and something different than he usually plays. And for
Yeah.
female protagonist, I would say I'm not sure. Maybe Alia, but again, Alia is a little thin. Savi was like a thick kind of girl. I'm not sure. Do you have anything in mind for Savi?
Savi, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
I'm
maybe Sonakshi Sinha when it comes to the body type and Alia Bhatt when it comes to the face. Something like
sick.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so
That's
something like that.
it's a mixture of Alia and
Sonakshi,
Sonakshi.
yeah.
Okay, if we could find someone like that. Yeah. If you could spend a day with one of your characters, who would it be and why?
Actually, I kind of do because I said as they are inspired from all my closest group of friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it just all my friends actually took it a real lot seriously, and they were really kind of fighting about it. Ki, oh, my character, and then I was like, guys, you have to dissociate. They're not real life people. You have to dissociate.
Yeah.
They are just my dreamy versions of you. I wish you could be this. If you were a fictional person, this is how you are going to be. But if I would like to spend, I would really like to spend the day with Ved because Ved is such a fun character. He's always, just in his own kind of world and doing his own thing, and he's a fun person to be around. So I think, yeah, Ved.
I don't know. I find Ved a little intense. It's a intense kind of character. I don't know. I get that vibes from him. So, as Urja, not as a writer, do you personally believe in what is the most important element in a relationship that makes it strong?
I think efforts. Uh, Efforts is like actually like loyalty and all this is like basic. This is like bare minimum you can have. This is not something to even ask for. Uh, Times I feel efforts are extremely necessary for any relationship to work because if you become lazy in a relationship, lazy as in just oh I'm staying here and I'm being loyal and I think that is enough. I don't think it is. Just because you are just there, I think showing up, being there when they need and understanding them and just always being a person who they can rely on at all times, and they don't have to think twice before reaching out to you. I think that is extremely important. Once you stop putting efforts and there's only one-sided efforts, I think it is not going to work in any case. And I feel in any relationship, if a person is constantly trying to tell ki this is what works for me and this is what doesn't work for me, I think people have to listen. This is what my partner needs, and this is what I really should provide if it is that important. And I feel if uh, any relationship has all these things, I think it will definitely work.
It's mutual efforts. Both sides
Yeah,
should
have put the efforts.
even if you can't express it, your efforts does.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you don't have to, it's not like you have to constantly say I love you, I care for you,
Yeah.
or anything. You just have to show it by your actions, and that is enough. I think because constantly just telling those people and then not showing it in the effort is again, then that is what happened with Ryan Singhania. I think very constantly
Yeah.
told that he loved her and he will make it up to her, but again, it was not the same thing. If he would have
Yeah.
showed up in the moment, then nothing could have happened. All the extra efforts he puts later after she's hurt, I think just doesn't matter. If you do it in the
Yeah.
moment, that is what matters.
Making up and saying sorry after the damage is already done.
It's not the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. So we are getting Ved and Isha's story next.
Yes.
So what can readers expect from it? And will we get any glimpse of Savi and Ryan?
Definitely. Savi and Ryan has an extremely special place in my heart, and they will definitely somewhere here and there they will be in there, because obviously it's all set in the same space and same environment. So definitely, and I am extremely excited for Ved and Isha. I have kind of started working on it already, and I am excited. I don't have a specific date or any timeline in my mind right now. I just want to develop a good story first. But yes, I do have a great story in mind, and I think Ved and Isha are going to be something extremely different from Ryan and Savi, because and also a lot shorter. I just want to tell everybody who complained that the book was lengthy, let me just come out and tell it will be half of the first book. Just want to put it out there. And yes, so it will be extremely different from Ryan and Savi, because all the characters in this series have kind of intense stories. So Ved and Isha are going to be a little different than the first book, and I think something new, I would just like to say. That is where I would like to leave it at this point.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so besides from Ved and Isha's story, are you working on something else? Any other project?
I have a completely different series in mind right now. Yes, but I am just a little, just an idea, nothing more than that. But I'm not sure if it will come parallelly or anything, because if the idea is there, I just write it down. I'm a person who's not going to wait for the whole thing to complete. So I'm not sure yet, but yes, I have certain things in mind. And I would just like to see how people like Ved and Isha as well, how the responses are, because readers' perspective is everything to me. If they are, not liking the writing style or something, I would definitely make changes accordingly, because at the end of the day, whatever they like, I would write. So yeah, that is what I have in mind, but not anything concrete yet. So when it is there, I'll definitely put it out and let everybody know.
Okay, so we are definitely looking forward to your next project. And so, do you have any message or feedback for TLB the Digital City? How has your experience been here as an author?
Yeah, actually, when I entered this whole writer thing, I had no idea it is such a big community. I had no idea the books community is this big, because I have always been a private person when it comes to social media kind of thing. So it was all extremely new to me, and I have met such amazing people on this platform, and TLB has given me so much scope, and a lot of just understanding about how and where to start. And this community is so open to everyone, I would like to say. artists, musicians, everybody. And I feel like people need this in today's world with all the negativity we have on social media and all those things. Somewhere we need these positive people in life to, I like how a bunch of strangers just come together and talk about everything and nothing at the same time. And that is just
Yeah.
something, and so many different people, so many different perspectives. And I'm not a person who actively participates, but I love to, just know what people think. And it has given me so much, information or just knowledge about a lot of things. And every day I learn something new from this community. And I've been so grateful to be a part of it. I recently received their merchandise as well, and I'm just so
Oh,
grateful. Yeah. And I'm
yeah.
so just happy to be a part of it, and looking forward for so many things hereafter.
Okay, we are really glad to have you us. Okay, that was it for today, and
Thank you
it
so
was really
much.
pleasure to have you here,
Thank
Urja.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So for all the people who are watching us, if you haven't yet grabbed the copy, go grab it from Amazon and Kindle. I'm telling you, you won't regret. Just read this book once. You need it in your life.
Thank
Okay,
you so
that was
much. Thank you. I am so grateful that this is something so new to me. I was extremely nervous because I've never given an interview before or anything. But so glad that I could talk to you, and so happy that you like the book. Keep supporting, and it means the world.
I'm definitely looking forward to your next book, and we might have you here back with your next book.
Yes,
So
yes, definitely. Looking forward to it.
okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for staying tuned. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.